All right, ladies and gents, welcome back to Kyber Cave After Dark. It is Friday, so y'all get your Rebecca Black songs on, and let's do this. I am the one
I
and only
can't believe you just said you just.
freak. Yeah, I just said that. I'm part of a Rebecca Black fan group on Facebook. There's a truckload of us. We celebrate
my
every Friday
gosh.
with that song.
A whole truck, 6 people.
Wow.
The whole
Okay.
truck of us. I am the one and only Forza FX Saber Sounds, joined by my co-host, the legendary angelic bearded master himself, Graveyard. And then right below me is Mrs. Forz, the captain. Oh, my captain.
Yes, because that has become my name.
What's going on, everybody?
Everything's going okay.
God, it's been like a month since I've seen y'all. Like it's
$8
crazy
and
the amount of time.
Say, Juan, what are you going off about?
So he thinks every time that Van is late, he gets 5 cents. Now, if he wants to add it up, great. But when we're on time, we get 5 cents back.
Yeah. We're on time.
Let's see. So, what's up to Dean Got Hella Riz? So Van's not in tonight. He is at I believe he's at SAC Anime.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so.
So we're in charge.
We're
in charge. We're in charge now.
Oh, good. Yay. This is why we're on time.
Yes.
Imagine that.
That's Say Wong. So what's up, Twisted, Say Wong, Dean?
Twisted.
I just got a message from Anthony. He is under the weather tonight, and Eli needed the computer, so he unfortunately will not be with us. I'm still waiting on Jen. And with that, let's get on with it.
Let's get on with it.
Let's do it.
So, subject number 1, we are hitting the one and only, very controversial cryptocurrency and NFTs. Graveyard, do you want to get started on this one?
You want me to do my story first? I'll do my story first.
I would love to hear your story first. Yes.
I love it, Twisted. That's awesome.
Yeah. So back, I'm a computer guy. So when it started, we were pretty on the spot with that. Me and my 2 coworkers were like, okay, we're going to start mining cryptocurrency. We started with Bitcoin. Everyone's doing it. So, so much graphical processing units. You're able to then run algorithms, and then you get pieces of Bitcoins from using the computer processor. So it's a way to pool everything together to generate the currency and bits with encryption and all that stuff. So like, okay, we're making 1 Bitcoin a month. They're like, okay, well, 60 cents then. So like, okay, cool. And then it was probably 2011, 2012.
All right.
Butterfly Labs came out with essentially a machine to let you run it separate from your PC. So you're not hosing your PC down or anything like that. And they started selling machines for X amount of money. I think the one we invested in was probably $10,000. But you're able to make essentially a 3 Bitcoin a day. Now, if we did that for a month, and let's say round to 100 right now, that'd be $270,000. So we did the math on the price points of where crypto was going, especially Bitcoin, and seeing the numbers inflate. We go, okay, if we invest this money, we get this dedicated mining rig, we can make our money back from the current price in 6 months.
Okay.
So we got our money together, we bought it, and we waited. We waited some more. Months went by, nothing. And all of a sudden, because Reddit is fantastic, everyone's like, okay, Butterfly Labs, what the hell is going on with them?
What is going on with it?
Yeah, they could not meet the demand, and they didn't sell. They didn't give any out, or so they got out like the first 100 or something like that, just to prove they exist, and then that was it.
Yeah, of course.
So at that point in time, when you were able to buy a rig, it became more easier for the masses to do it without understanding how to set up the mining software on your machine, and all that jazz. So it was a good place for investors to go to try to do stuff like that. But everyone kind of boycotted them and got all their money back. And we go, at this point in time, do we even bother? Yeah, we wasted a year trying to get it. We did stuff on servers, we ran stuff on servers to do all this mining for us. And we didn't do anything with it. We, what, screw this. And if I had spent the initial investment on Bitcoins at let's say 60 cents on the dollar.
Okay.
Right? $4,000. So you get, let's say 7,000 Bitcoins.
Okay.
The current price is about $28,000 per. So if I had put that initial investment, held off till now, it would be $180 million-ish.
Wow. Not even could have done that.
Yeah. So, that's my story on having dealt with them. I think people are investing in them and not knowing what they are? Yes. Are we unwilling to change our currency to it? Yes. But we thought the same thing with paper currency, with currency as a whole. We've always changed how we deal with currency. And I'm for one okay with a digital currency, or just having everything attached to a card, not have it rise and ebb and flow from Thomas like that. But yeah, and NFTs to me are the same thing. It's just a way to have the same encryption, the algorithms into creating a piece of art or domain name or cartoon or whatever you want to do. And I think it's not a scam, but it's just hard to get into now versus everything else. The more people buy into it, the more it becomes valuable. So the early investors really made out. So it's our generation stocks and bonds.
With everything, if you're not an early adopter, you're basically
kind of SOL.
Yeah.
Well,
very much so.
It's the same thing with YouTube. Like, if you weren't an early YouTuber, then you're not making money.
Kind of.
That's how that goes. Oh my god.
We are late to this game.
Unfortunately, I'm not too I'm not too knowledgeable on the whole cryptocurrency thing. I always considered it to be too volatile to get involved with. What kind of blew me away was it was like a year and a half ago ish. I couldn't find a video card to save my life. The freaking 3080
Okay, James.
relatively new. They were over $3,000.
Wow.
And then they just freaking tanked.
And
I'm like, shit, I'm building a new computer. So I did. I managed to get my 3080 Ti for just under $1,000. I'm like, lucky.
Well, excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't sleep well last night. I apologize.
Neither did I.
Oh, good.
Well, to answer James's question, if you click that subscribe button,
yeah,
the bell will notify you about the show and what it is and what day is, James. But yes, this is After Dark.
Yeah, James, why don't you get in on the chat with us there, brother?
Yeah.
Click that StreamYard link and get your ass in here.
So
boy.
So, Forrest, what do you know about crypto and NFTs and all that stuff?
Not a damn thing. Okay, so to be perfectly honest, I never really took the time to study. I was a little too focused on life and being dad and trying to maintain my own house. So I never really took the time, as with many things, to research, educate myself on it. So I can be perfectly honest when I say no, I don't know much about it. And that's okay, I think.
I mean, I kind of get what it is. It's a currency you pay into to get the money currency of, and it somehow will generate money over time. It's like it's weird to me.
It's not any different than
it's no different than like stocks or bonds.
Correct. The more people that buy stocks, and the better the company does,
Right.
the more it's worth and stuff like that. You know, Swiss said it was never meant to be an investment. Yeah, it's true. I mean, crypto, yes and no. It was supposed to be a digital currency, but it became an investment because people are, you know, yeah, it was never meant to be like this. Yeah, correct. It was not meant to be, but that's what it is, unfortunately. So you have the stockbrokers and stuff like that. There's people just for crypto and NFTs.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to, you know, it goes back to the variables and the volatility of it. Just like a year and a half ago, it all just freaking tanked.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people who bought in, like I know a couple people who've lost an early investment of over $6,000 when it tanked, and they still haven't gotten it back. So there are times, okay, like take Doge and Doge 2 for example.
Yeah.
I'm kicking myself for not buying in early. Like I had an opportunity to get in on Doge 2 at 0.37 cents. And I was like, you know, Doge 1's a thing. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. And then all of a sudden, like for one day, it jumped to 78 cents. And one of my best friends, he came out of it before when it jumped to 78 cents, he cashed out $10,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm like, you know, but you don't know what it's going to do. You don't know when or if it's going to spike, if it's going to fail. Like it's not, you can't track that like some people can track a stock. You know what I mean? So that's what makes it very, very risky.
Yeah, as Swiss was saying, it was a decentralized currency, regardless of government. But let's face it, the government's going to get into your currency in any way, shape, or form it can.
You know, it's crazy. I was just signing my tax return the other day, and one of the very first questions you have to answer is, do you own crypto? And then it's like, if yes, where?
Yep.
I was like, dang, dude.
Yeah. Hey, there's a new name. I don't know if I've seen Rick's name in here before. How's it going, Rick?
Good evening, Rick.
Yeah.
Have you seen the volatility of the stock market the last 2 years? Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. Like I said, you are able to track it like a stock. There's the market for it. You know, I worked at a precious metal stock exchange for a while. It was interesting to see what they thought of all that stuff. And yeah, they were realizing they're going to have to start tracking it and maybe invest in it too. The old pump dump Swiss said yes. Yes, it's it's interesting. But no, it's have you thought about buying an NFT for us? If your favorite artist made something and said, I'm selling this as an NFT, so your favorite comic book artist was doing it, would you buy it?
Nah, probably not. Probably not. I would say maybe 10 years ago, you know, but I mean, I still think in this day and age, you know, if you have, like, if you own property or you've got like really good equity in your home, I still feel, or you own your vehicle outright, I think you're still in a better spot. That's just one man's opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Swiss favorite artist has created art for him. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, Rick is right that we can pump dump stocks too, and they have the meme stocks, you know, AMC, GameStop, the super stonks on Reddit. No, it's for, like I said, I've stopped following this a long time because I stopped caring.
Yeah.
But are we just, you know, old men at this point that, you know, don't understand it? But I want to hear Captain's opinion on it, especially NFTs and artwork as an NFT.
So BYL was trying to get into doing the NFT business. I don't really understand it very well. But what I have seen of it, everything I've seen of it points to it being scams. NFTs anyways, cryptocurrency, whatever. I mean, it's basically stocks. But from what I've seen of NFTs, where you're selling something that is kind of useless for money. I mean, digital, it's not art that you can hold. Oh, I see how it is, Say Wong. Just dip out while I'm talking. Jeez. But yeah, I mean that's kind of my whole idea on it.
So
I mean,
then
we
let me
have-
ask this. Let me ask this question. Do we think that within the next 3 to 5 years, do we see crypto being, you know, basically how we deal with money? Like, is it just going to go full on digital? You know, is everything going to become a cryptocurrency at some point? Are we going to stop using paper money? Are we going to stop using plastic? You know, is everything just going to be in this great big digital crypto world where everything is an electronic transfer? And, you know, is that the next phase of, you know, money exchange? What do you think?
I think it should be.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was a bank teller for 4 years, and even then, this is 20 years ago. That why are people still coming to the bank? There's no reason for this.
So here's the thing: is that NFTs are really easy for people to steal money. There's been things like the NFTs for, say, like Jake Paul has actually done an NFT that actually was a scam, and people lost thousands of dollars in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really easy to scam, and it says it's collectible autograph, but really it's digital. It's like a digital. Could be any of it. Yeah, you're right. But the digital version, I mean, if you think it's cool, it's cool. That's a subjective version, but there are actual cases of NFTs literally being scams. So it's a risk like anything else. It's basically a stock.
We have a heated debate going on there.
I know. I love this. I think this is amazing.
Well, okay, yes, Swiss. If everyone went to go on Swiss's point here, that it's the currency issued by the government, it's not supposed to be trackable by the government, which is all well and good if you're able to exchange it without the government's knowledge. You can take your Bitcoin anywhere you go. You take your biometric chip. You have something like that you can do it. Then yes, you can't do it. But as soon as you go to cash it out, you're leaving a paper trail. So, and crypto's great if you can only buy and sell in crypto. So it's by no means just going to be the end all be all. But if everyone had it, you can go anywhere and go, this costs, 1 Bitcoin, or, at this point in time, 1/10 of a Bitcoin, or whatever it may be. You can go, cool. As a currency, I think we need to go digital. As crypto, arguably the value of the dollar goes up and down every day. Right?
Yeah.
So,
Man, Rick is wow. Rick, you go on with your opinions there, but let me ask you a question here. Have you seen the many people that have actually lost thousands and thousands of dollars on these NFTs that ended up getting them nothing in the market?
Yes.
And the people that have taken that money for the NFTs have literally walked away with millions of dollars that they have scammed out of their customers for the NFTs. Is that okay?
Is it any different than we've been doing since the dawn of humanity? It's the snake oil salesman. It's the beachfront property and swamp.
But there should be ethics when you're dealing with business. I think there should be an ethical business. But that's personally me. Maybe I'm not the best person for this. This is why I am not a money's person. I'm an artist.
Well, you're talking about essentially grifting at this point.
Yes, that is basically what NFTs in a lot of ways are. I'm not saying every NFT is a grift, But a lot of times there are people use NFTs and cryptocurrency to grift people to steal them from their money, out of their money, whatever. Yeah, I mean that's there is a great channel called CoffeeZilla that actually talks a lot about this. So
yes, Twisted, we do largely digital, but if you want to walk in and take your cash, you still can. So it doesn't have to be digital. It's not pure digital, unfortunately, at this point.
Yeah, but he's saying largely.
Largely, yeah.
And you know what? I agree with that. Now, granted, when I was in Philly a couple weeks ago, I visited both Pat's and Gino's just to say that I could, and sure enough, right there at the front on the sign said cash only. We take cash only, cash only, cash only. I was like, wow. So I was happy I went with cash, but and then other places that I visited were credit card only.
Yep.
So it's nothing like I've ever seen before. Now, Graveyard, let me ask you a question. Have you heard? And yes, this is related. Don't worry, chat. There's a game coming out. It's in development right now. My buddy has been keeping me up to date with it. It's called Dead Drop. It's going to be like a PUBG sort of like Halo 2-ish sort of game. But the money exchange system in this game, meaning like what you can spend to get stuff, I think there's going to be like cash, or there's going to be payouts for finishing events or finishing first in certain PvP places. It all pays out and runs completely through crypto. Completely. Like, I don't think they're going to accept any other form of payment other than crypto.
Right.
And they're developing their own cryptocurrency for the game. So if you buy into this currency, it's not gonna, I mean, it's still Mezzo. It's still gonna be investable and usable and whatnot. I mean, outside of the game, I mean, it's going to be a currency, but its specific use will be primarily in Dead Drop. So have you heard of this?
I think that's what Rick was talking about too. I just doing a little bit of more research on this, is the idea of what he's talking about too, is that you give currency into the game, you trade it for the currency that's in the game system, and you can temporarily, let's call it rent, because if you can buy it and sell it back, let's call it rent, but you can buy an item with real world dollars. I think it's probably the same game that's talking about it, is then you can trade it and sell it to somebody else.
Okay.
Now, to me, do you remember the hats in Team Fortress 2?
No.
And the keys and the boxes?
I never played, so. Sorry.
Okay, so once again, we're talking 10, 12 years ago, is that you were able to play the game for a random chance to get a box or a hat or a key or a medal to get weapons. And people were selling this, an in-game item, for real-world dollars. So it's the same thing, right? I think it's dangerous, because you still hear stuff, every time someone's like, my daughter spent $2,000 on Amazon. Well, because I let her use my tablet and my phone that has a always log in option in Amazon or wherever it may be, to do it. But I mean, it's the stupid loot boxes, the stupid games on your cell phones that have paid real world dollars to get real stuff to make you better. It's pay to win.
So would you say that would be relatable to people who would play WoW and they would sell literally like gold hunt and then sell their gold on eBay?
Yep. Gold buttons, the same
you
thing.
Go on eBay and you pay $200 and then they're going to drop 20 million gold on you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow. Back in the day, we used to call that paying real money for fake money.
Yep. That's pretty much what crypto is in a way.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, this is really why I play Destiny, is because the only thing real money gets you is purely cosmetic. You have to put in the time to get the good stuff. you can't just pay for it.
Okay, so
I mean,
Rick, right here, you're saying, okay, so NFTs transactions go into a blockchain ledger. You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, Rick, because when I'm talking to my friend about Dead Drop, he keeps using that term, blockchain ledger.
Yes.
So
yeah, I agree.
and you can, there are things in the game that they're developing. You can confirm ownership of the item. It's connected to your profile. It's connected to your account. Connected to your character. I mean, it's crazy how they're setting it up.
Yeah.
It just kind of sucks for me because like that's not really an investment I'm educated in, and I feel it's kind of risky to get into, especially if it's something like, wow, this game looks fun, I just want to play, but then you're kind of like because again, if I'm not mistaken, crypto also involves putting in a lot of your own personal information up to and including your social, which
Yeah.
I'm not down with that.
Only if you want to get your money. Yes.
Yeah.
If it didn't have to leave your crypto wallet, it'd be absolutely fine.
Right.
But it does. And that's a blockchain ledger, is those transactions that you check and balances that you would a regular ledger. Like I said, but yeah, Diablo 3 had it too.
Well, look at
Diablo 3 had that too, but where they did that, huh? Rick, I appreciate your information and you fighting for the cryptocurrencies. And NFTs. I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm thankful for Rick because he's educating me. I'm learning new things.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I had Leo actually explain some of it because he was talking about NFTs and crypto, and I just keep looking and I'm like, that kind of feels like doesn't feel real. So it's.
Yes, Rick, from your wallet to someone else's wallet to get the funds that you can't pay crypto for, you have to have information. It has to go somewhere.
That was going to be my next question. So he's talking about from wallet to wallet, but for me to establish a wallet, for me to have a wallet, that's something I would have to go in and upload, tax related, information, social things like that, just to have it, because of course Uncle Sam's going to track it.
If you want to exchange it for dollars that aren't being used in crypto or other digital currencies, like you said you wanted to take 2,000 out and give to me, you could do it through the wallet. But if I didn't have a wallet, then you just cash it out into real world funds and you'd send it to me through Zelle or whatever, Venmo or whatever you want to have it, right?
Pong and Gorf.
Gorf.
Modern video games are fine. I don't.
Pong. I'm like, or Mario RPG. You can do that too.
And Mario RPG. I was listening to that on the way to the movie today.
So
nice.
So I want to know how do you guys feel about going to purely digital, to something other than the U.S. dollar as a potential, as opposed to the thousands of things that exist out there now?
I mean, euro would be fine if we went to the euro, but other than that, I don't really. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
How often do you use paper money?
Actually, I use it quite a bit because I get paid in paper money.
But what, someone can just have something on your watch, someone touches their watch to it, and by your powers combined, you have money.
Go money.
This kind of almost feels like now we're part of the anti-planeteers. Oh. Yeah.
Come say hello.
How do you? I mean, we're going to be the old curmudgeons that are going to be boycotting this.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I think there's just an easier way for funds to disappear. I mean, I don't know. It's just interesting.
And Swissy gets into
so I really don't have it. I don't have any answers for this. I don't know. Well, the government was just not willing to pay our taxes. I mean, that's true. I mean, there's also, like, if you think about it, we went from the gold standard.
It's
like either gold or silver that you measure your worth by in the bank. Like, it's interesting how that kind of shifts things out. I mean, right now, the reason why like bonds and stocks are up and interest rates are up, it's because we don't have, because all the bonds have been put out to different people, and basically we don't have that gold in the bank. That's why the value of the dollar has gone down.
Well, the value of dollar is worth the value of dollar because of good faith.
So Swisted says, will Uncle Sam accept crypto? No, of course not. But let me ask a question here.
No, I agree.
Will we be taxed, or can we be taxed the value of said crypto at that given point in time? I guess that's one way to put it.
It's only when with stocks and bonds, it's only when you cash out that you have to pay the taxes on it.
That was going to be my next point. So let's say, for example, let's take my friend, right? So when Doge 2 hit 78 cents, and he went ahead and cashed out that $10,000, then at the end of the year, would then Uncle Sam come in and tax that $10,000? Yes. And if so, how much? Because it is a crypto cash out.
Is it
a crypto cash out? So he's receiving his funds.
You can probably tax that like you would any type of bond or stock.
Okay.
It's like cash out your 401k, your IRA, anything like
your
that.
Trust.
Yeah. So we want, we say that we want it to be decentralized, and that's the idea behind it. But until that's great until you need
more in 10 years. Oh, I am certain that our dollar is going to fall even more. I mean, to be fair, I do agree.
Give it 10 years. I'll give it 10 months.
Yeah, no, I do agree that there is a problem. Well, the U.S. currency already is falling. We're not the superpower we once were, everyone. Hate to break it to you.
Oh no, my American flag.
I know, right?
So then would you say it would be more prudent to own, say, property and precious metals at this point in time moving forward?
No, precious metals are going to come and go too.
Yeah, prices, that's true. I agree.
They change so much.
Yeah.
So I mean, we look at the value of the dollar. Even, I mean, we can look at trends, in history. When we were going through the Great Depression, the dollar didn't mean shit.
Well, Swiss brings up a good point. Is it considered investment income or regular income investment?
Right. There's that. I mean, it's actually right now like assets are actually worth more right now.
Anything you put money into that increases or decreases the value of the investment?
True.
Versus regular income. I think they'll put whatever bracket they can make the most money off of that. Yeah.
I mean, that's really interesting. The problem is that when you're not holding things to a golden, so the reason why the gold and silver standard, how they worked so well, is because you could not print more paper money than we had gold in the bank, like in the national bank, right? Correct. You couldn't mint more money than we had in gold. That's why it's called the gold standard, and that's why it has a certain value worth. But right now, and the reason why inflation happens is because we are printing more gold than we actually have in the national bank. That is why the value of our dollar drops. Right. That is the problem.
And we all
right now it's not stable. It's not a stable it's not stable investment. That is why inflation is spiking the way it is.
So, Swista, do you think gold and silver at this point in time it still has some stability to it then? I love our chat tonight. This is really cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
See what you're missing, Van.
But we only say it's valuable because it has value. Just like we do the dollar, just like we do crypto. It's no different.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, to really understand why cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all of these things are worth the way that they are, you have to really look in, like, why stocks and bonds and why we went to the gold standard in the first place, like silver and versus the silver standard to the gold standard, and why that was a big thing, that big change, and how money evolves and why inflation happens. And then you can understand cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all these things as well into that standard. And the problem is that because you don't have gold or you don't have a value to back up that stuff, you can basically say you have as much money as you want in a way, but unless you have something to back that up, it's just empty. It's empty money. That's the problem. And that's why I think cryptocurrency in a way is such a risk.
Yeah.
Scary times, my friends.
I
Scary
like Twisted
times.
saying
I
how much is a nice man's suit. If it's the same as 1 ounce of gold, then it's the price is right. That's the classic measure. Let's go back to seashells, shall we?
Oh my gosh.
Boris is rich. California people are rich. I don't live by an ocean.
golden dollars since 1933. I don't. I'll have to go and check that out again because I don't think so. I think we do still measure up against the gold standard.
We don't hold any gold to back up the dollar in any bank. I don't think it's any
No,
bank on American
It's not.
shores.
It's the national bank. It's
Hmm.
it's the government bank. Like that's how we hold up our like cred. That's how we hold up a lot of that. But yeah, you may be right. But I don't. I'll have to go back and look at that. But that is based on what I learned and my understanding of how inflation and currency and the dollar work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's yeah, exactly, Swisted. That's I mean that's my understanding of our economics, of our economic system. I mean I have a strong understanding of economics. I do understand how that works and why inflation happens. Um,
Hmm.
Thank you, Swisted. Yeah, it's
So
not. Yeah, go ahead.
no. I finish your point.
But my point is that we are. See, it's because Rick is saying stuff, so I'm like,
Oh, there you go. Yep.
I mean, you may be correct.
So on June 5th, 1933, the United States went off the gold standard, a monetary system in which currency is backed by gold.
I mean, we
Thoughts?
do. I mean, it could be right. I mean, this is a lot of stuff I'm talking about. It there was a lot of controversy. Right now, my brain is blanking on some of the stuff. But I mean, I learned about a lot of this stuff a while ago, so I have to.
Right. So
I mean, that could be possible. That is it's interesting because that could be also why we went through a recession, the Great Depression that we did. I mean, that
so
kind of if that's what happened. I don't recall that being it. I remember there's something to do with this. It has to do with the stocks and bonds that are held that are printed against with the gold that is printed against the value of money. I mean, that's all I remember that has, and because it is vastly has to do with how inflation works and how the value works. So
Yeah.
I'm just so it's very interesting.
so then let me ask one final question before we segue into the next thing. Considering
I mean, since the
that,
government could have a lot of money in the gold in the banks, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you all. I'm just saying it's very interesting because that was something that I agree with that too. Gold isn't the only thing on earth that has value.
hey, you know what else that has really great value?
I
Yes.
know.
What?
Friendship.
Friendship.
Hey, friendship is magic.
Well done. So, and let me ask one last question to everybody, including the comment section. Given the state of where we are financially, economically, do you think at this given point in time today, is it worth even the tiniest bit of your savings or investment to take a chance on a crypto that you believe, or maybe some of your friends who've done really well believe?
Sure.
Um,
I mean, it's still an
you know,
investment. It's
I
still
mean,
you're
like
still taking a risk.
if you had that extra $50, right,
Mhm.
and you're
Hmm.
told tomorrow XRP is going to explode in the next 2 years, would you take that $50 and then buy XRP with it, or would you be like, it's still too volatile and I like my $50?
What's up, fan?
Van.
Well,
So
Rick, you are bringing up a whole thing. Is like yes, I mean I remember there was this whole thing about going off of the gold standard. That it was a huge controversial thing. A lot of people were not happy. I think that's actually what the Wizard of Oz might have been. Because the Wizard of Oz was actually about the gold standard. Like the Yellow Brick Road is actually like the idea of the gold standard, going the gold. The slippers were silver slippers that had to do with the silver standard. It's really interesting how a lot of these things are about that. I mean, but it's a bit on how like you have with all of these things, you have people that will make commentary on what's going on in the current times to how like the things that are happening at that time. I don't remember like that might have been the 1930s. But anyways, let's talk about what makes a friend. Sorry.
No, but to Swisted and to Rick, we appreciate you guys. Thank you
Yeah.
for
Thank
first.
you
Thank
for
you for
joining in on
logging
the
in and giving
conversation.
and helping to educate us, especially me, because again, I haven't really done a lot of homework on it. And to be honest, y'all, I've got way too many opinions coming from every which way, depending upon who I talk to on the daily. I have some people telling me invest. I have some people telling me don't invest. I have financial advisors telling me it's way too volatile. You're throwing your money away. Others are telling me, hey, if you own your home and you own your vehicle and you have equity in
Yes.
your home, you're going to do better that way. Stay put. Don't throw your money at volatile stuff. So again, I guess, for all of us, it's our individualized choice to what we want to invest in. If you throw money at something like XRP and it explodes tomorrow, then congratulations. But we really don't have the ability to foresee the future here. So
We don't.
I
love Twisted's question here. I think it's hilarious.
What's that?
Time spent together makes a friend. Next question.
The answer to the question. Next trivia question.
I mean, yes, but
Graveyard, you
that's
have
not
the
always
board.
how it's measured. People with ADHD don't that doesn't work the same way for us.
So why don't
We
we
don't measure it in time spent.
So then why don't we analyze why don't we take some time and analyze the question? What makes a friend? Like, Graveyard, thoughts?
Quick answer. If they call you up and you call them up and say, hey, we gotta hide a body, you do it. No questions asked.
I mean, I've got the funeral home experience,
but no, it's what makes a friend. It's really, it's how you feel it is too, because you have any relationship can feel differently from both sides. Not reciprocate the same amount. I'm sure we all have friends that said if I didn't call them, we would never hang out. Right? I have a lot of those friends.
Yeah.
So it's really someone that you can spend time with, not be annoyed. No, you can get annoyed by them, but spend time that's enjoyment, that takes your mind off of the world, life, anything around you that you might be dealing with. That they're there to listen for, be there for you, help out with again. If they need to make fun of you, so be it. That's still them being there, a soundboard. So I don't think time is a factor necessarily, because how many hours have we spent in the same room together?
0.
Right. But also
I can call either of these gentlemen up really and be like, hey, I need help with this thing, and literally Dampy has literally dropped things and been like, hey, I got 20 minutes, let's do this thing that you really need help with. And he is come through for me. And that's what a friend does. A friend is someone who comes to you in times of need, either emotionally, physically, or mentally, in a time of need, and is just there for you to help you with that. And you do the same for them.
Yes.
That's what makes a friend to me. And I mean, again, it's really interesting. So I'm gonna give it back to Forrest, but there's this thing I want to talk about when it comes to that, friendships.
Oh no, keep going, because I got nothing right now.
So there is this mechanic that does happen with people. So there's a difference between people that have a neurotypical brain and people who have an atypical brain, the neuroatypical brain, like people with ADHD or any type of, like autism or anything on the spectrum or anything like that. So people with ADHD, for instance, don't carry this, but people with normal brain, there's this thing called friendship time degradation. I think I might be saying it wrong. Tell me if you guys have heard this. It's a friendship degradation mechanic that happens. No. So the more time passes between friendships, between you talking to that person or spending time with that person, it literally feels like time, like you are slowly getting further and further from that person. You are actively trying to keep that friendship alive because you feel it slip away.
Yes.
People with ADHD don't feel that. We don't have that. So I can talk to, I don't have, so there's somebody like, there's someone that's like 2 years for me means nothing. I can go between like years talking to somebody and then talk to them again. It's like nothing's ever changed.
Mhm.
Because to me, that doesn't exist. They're still my friend no matter what. In my brain, that friendship hasn't disappeared, even though for them it may have, because they
Right.
may have a typical brain. But for me, I'm like, you're still the same person. In a way, I'm like, you're still my friend. Let's talk about all this shit that we haven't talked about.
Mhm.
I'll still do everything I can for you. Yeah. But for normal people, they actually feel that very distinctly. Like, so like if they're like, hey, can you go and pick up this my friend and I were talking about this. So it's like, oh, can you go pick up that gallon of milk for me? And for them, that's super important because that shows that you're a friend. And for us, we're like, I do that for you, but why do you need me to go pick it up? Because that to me is not investing in the friendship. I mean, it's a stupid analogy in a way, but it's kind of like,
Yeah.
but to them, someone who's neurotypical, they're like, I need you to do this to me to show that you're still my friend. And for
Mhm.
me, I'm like, this is stupid. I'll talk to you. It's like, it's stupid. Like there's no difference there. So it's really interesting how that happens. So to me, time means nothing. For me, it's just, do you have my back? Will you still have my back in 10 years?
Right.
Has something happened that will cause our friendship to have a rift? No? Then yeah, I'm good. I can see you in 10 years and still be like, yeah, you're my friend. You're my ride and die. I don't sense any of that. Like, and it's really interesting because it's gotten me into hot water sometimes. So it's like interesting how that happens.
Hmm.
How are you the same way there, Van?
Yeah.
Are you saying like, do you feel that friendship degradation, or do you not feel that?
Yeah, I'm interested. But like I said, I think we all have that one friend that we don't talk to often as we should, but eventually we can go back to them and still be like, hey, let's play video games or go have pizza or drink or whatever it may be. For me, kind of example I've had a friend since I was 10 that I still talk to.
Yeah.
Uh, Now we've over the years, been 28 years, we've really grown apart. We've come back together, all that jazz. He was my best man at my wedding. A couple years before that, he had moved out to like the middle of Indiana, so it was a couple hour drive. And I was probably 21 when that happened. But we the biggest rift in our friendship came when I got married and had kids, because he's not that spot. He's still not that spot. So, it's always like, he wanted to hang out and still play, Nintendo 64 and pretend like we were, 12 again and play video games and act like there's nothing else, which is great, but also need to acknowledge my wife and kids. They exist. They're part of me. And I think that's what makes a friend important, is be able to, no matter what state you're in, will still be your friend. Whether you're married and they're not, whether they have kids and you don't, whether something changes in the relationship, it shouldn't matter. And not to
Mm-hmm.
get political, but from 2016 through 2022, I had some really good friends that are anti-government views I have, and let's face it, Trump and Corona changed a lot of people's lives and how they viewed their friends.
But that's not time degradation. That has
No.
to do with actual. So like, literally, for me to stop being someone's friend has to be that some event has to take place for the rift to happen with
Right.
me. It's not about time. Time is just it to me. That's arbitrary. It's really fast. Like, cause some people don't understand this. How it is. Like people are like, how is it that you haven't talked to this person for 20 years? And then you guys talk and it's like you never stop talking. And that's really because for me that time doesn't exist.
Right. I mean, I don't necessarily I view that, because I said that friend I'm talking about for 28 years. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. I haven't seen him in a year. It doesn't matter. It's still,
Right.
we hang out. Nothing will have changed. And
Mm-hmm.
my wife's best friend from like third grade lives in California, and she barely sees her now in person just
Mm-hmm.
because she's so far away. But it's when they talk on the phone, when they chat, when they hang out, time has not passed for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I mean I have a friend who lives in um Yes, I agree. Yes. Yes, Van. That's really funny. Oh, wait, is this Van? Is it Van this way? I swear it's
I'm
Van.
the one who typed yes, Van.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. That
We're all
makes
logged into the same account.
Yeah, we are.
That's so funny. So yeah, so I mean, I have a friend who lives in Arkansas right now, and like we talk maybe I don't know once every couple of years, but it doesn't change. Like she's basically still to me, she's like a sister to me, and it's not gonna change. I could talk to my nephew more than I talk to her, and it's really funny because it's like how that's just how it happens. And but like when I talk to her, it's the same.
Mhm.
It's just time passes, and it's like, okay, well, time is supposedly passed. So what's going on with you? Oh, this. What's going on with you? Oh, this. And it's like there hasn't been because there hasn't been any big rifts or any big issues. Like I'm still me. Yeah, you're still humans. But I don't feel that time differentiation
Mhm.
very much. So it's really hard to explain, but it's like that's what. So I didn't know about this time degradation mechanic until like fairly recently, until the last like year or so. And I was like, oh, this is why certain people are this way. It's like, oh, we're not friends, we're just acquaintances now, or oh, we're not friends. Like I haven't spoken to you in like 2 years. I was like, wait, what? What do you mean? We're still friends. For me, I'm like, why don't you like my friend? It's because of that. That's
So
really interesting.
Yeah, Forrest, do you experience that, or how's it feel for you?
Oh God. The degradation thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's I think it's become a thing. I have friends that I look back on with incredibly fond memories, but I still can't believe that 17 years has passed just like that. Just like that. Like they had their kids. The kids are grown. One is graduating this year, and I haven't seen them. But if I go back and talk to them, I'll be like, yeah, I'm still a senior in high school. Like I'm still talking to this person like I'm a freaking senior in high school. Like I trick my brain, or my brain tricks me into believing that time hasn't passed at all. But um, no, 17 years have really passed, and his kid has actually really not only come into the world but has grown up. It just it I'm kind of caught by surprise. Um,
Hmm.
I don't think I don't think the friendship is damaged. I'm not gonna say that we've been reduced to acquaintances.
Hmm.
If I were to put out that phone call and be like, dude, seriously, help. Like, no, I'm not bullshitting you. Drop what you're doing and get your ass over here now, like
Mhm.
life or death. He'd be here.
Hmm.
He'd be here.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't see him for another 17 years. But
All right, so we now Forrest has admitted to be the 17-year serial killer. The cycle 17 years.
and with
I mean,
that, get me off the screen.
my friend in Arkansas with my nephew, he's graduating this year, and it's kind of crazy how it's been like 18 years almost. It's been 18 years since he was born. I held that baby when he held that kid.
Right?
He was first born, and now he's 18.
Mhm. So
Like some of my
Van,
oldest nephews.
so Van poses a very
Yeah.
interesting question. Can people you've never met be friends, gaming friends, or even Kyber Cave After Dark? Geez, I don't know. Why don't we put that into perspective for a second? Who the hell's picking me up from the airport next Thursday?
Man.
Yeah. Where am I crashing for 2.5 weeks between? Yeah. Have we ever met? How's that even work? Y'all better consider me a friend at this freaking point. Come on.
I have a friend who lives in Pennsylvania, and we've known each other since 2008. No, 2007, actually. We met on MySpace. I'm calling you out, Sarah. I'm calling you out. Anyways, we met through MySpace, and she is one of my absolute favorite people. Her name is Sarah Gilbertson. She actually did all the artwork for my album. She's an amazing artist. And I absolutely love her. Her stuff is great. And we have never met in person. We have spoken on the phone and we have video chatted. We've never met in person. She's got 4 beautiful boys, and yeah, we keep each other again. We keep in contact with each other through Facebook and through and like texting, chatting, and video chats every once in a while. And I don't think we video chatted in the last 4 years at least. But I mean, since she was pregnant with her 3rd child, so I mean, but I love her. She's like one of my favorite people. So yeah, I mean,
You know who I miss? My good friend Tom from MySpace. Haven't heard from Tom in a long time.
I know. Where is Tom? I wonder what's going on with him.
Still got you, Tom.
I has a friend. Yeah, and that's your my friend too. Absolutely.
So I mean, it's to Van's point. Is friends you never met, gaming friends, even Kyber Cave. It's just the updated version of Pen Pals, essentially. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely become friends. I don't think, obviously, they don't know all your disgusting habits, but just necessarily.
Yeah, of course. That is one thing that's true. Like a person can change who they are, and then you like the old feelings are still there, but then you have to learn who they are new wise. But it's interesting because for me that time degradation doesn't really work. It's just an interesting thought of how that, and that is a real. I just find that to be such an interesting like break in reality for people that are neurodivergent versus neurotypical. It's very fascinating. It was a very fascinating like realization for me about that.
Well, let me ask you.
I brought the kids to the growing.
Yeah. So let me ask you then to kind of go on your time degradation, stuff like that. With the way technology is now, that you can just message someone, do you think that helps bridge gap the people that do feel that time degradation versus not? Because you are able to. I mean, if you even just go on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever, you can just like a picture that your friend posted.
That's part of the parasocial norm.
Yeah,
parasocial like relationship thing. But yeah, absolutely. Actually, it was funny. I just got a text message from a friend that I've known since 2003. I have a lot of old friends, and it's like we haven't spoken in almost 2 years at least. And he's like, "Hey, just was thinking about you." I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I'm like, I have a bunch of friends like that. Like they'll just message me out of the blue and be like, "Hey, let's catch up." And it's like, "Oh, I'll catch up with them." And then that's it. And but like my feelings about them don't change. It's just that I know time's passed with them, and I know they may be different or they may have new things going on in their lives or whatever, but but the feeling doesn't change. I don't feel like the hold of my friendship slipping away from them because of the time. Like it's interesting. Like I realize the time has passed, but doesn't feel the same. And that's why I have a lot of friends from middle school and high school that I still talk to and still keep in contact with, and the feelings don't really change because now that I'm aware of it, it's a lot more interesting because it's a lot more about that. But if I'm not thinking about it and I'm not aware of that, it's really fascinating because I really don't notice it.
Right.
And I've got a friend from 2004 that I met on World of Warcraft that I'm still friends with.
There awesome. You go.
Yeah, he's called the Pan Man, and I love him. He's my twinsy. That's what he calls him. We call each other twinsies. He's part of my TFC crew. So yeah, for World of Warcraft. It's called the Fat Crew. Don't mind.
Well, do you feel any different with, say, the friends you made online versus friends you make in person? Do you feel there's any difference at all to that friendship and that?
No. To me, it's a real friendship. If they've got my back and they're not talking shit about me, and they can hold my secrets, they can hold like our conversations, and they get me. No.
What about you there, Mr. Forrest? Do you feel like we've discussed this we discussed this offline of you going there and meeting, not me, but everyone else?
Twisted. Oh my God, sorry.
Yeah. Do you feel, you said this helps solidify the idea of the friendship. Now, do you find it different having met us online and versus meeting people in person, friendship creations. Do you feel it's different?
I
Well-
can tell you that based on a Saberland experience,
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend from Montana who, in the Saber community, is not a very liked person for the most part.
Mm.
For whatever reason, it doesn't. Those reasons don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
When I met him in person and got to know him and his family, and we were actually being friends outside of freaking lightsabers,
Mm-hmm.
best person you'll ever know. Unbelievably great heart. Genuinely cares about everybody. Treats his family like gold. You know, it's the hobby. The hobby got us together, but it's a friendship forever. Um, it was just a really good. It was a good connection. So yeah, I do think transitioning from just online to meeting in person generates some pretty spectacular results. Sometimes really, really great. Sometimes not so much.
Yeah.
But it really just depends on how it goes in person.
Yeah.
I have all the faith in the world that you know by the end of next week when I meet most of everybody, it's going to be a fantastic thing. Y'all are going to find I'm not much different from what you see now. You'll just be able
I
to see
am.
what
I'm totally different.
You'll just be able to see what shoes I wear.
Well, no. Can we make that our OnlyFans page for Kyber Cave instead of Watts's Vandals? It's Forza's feet.
No,
Listen, you're killing me. You're so killing me. It's so funny. And that's how I agree. I agree with this.
Mhm.
I like what she says here.
see, I find
And
you guys friends, and the people I grew up with friends, but the relationships are all different in a sense. Like a good amount of friends I know in person I grew up with. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I have a lot of acquaintance friends, people I know that I don't put in more time to that really. So that's what's interesting too. Is one thing I wanted to bring up with it is that there are levels.
Mhm.
I think of friendship, like, and it's interesting because it's like, oh, it's like that whole thing of like, oh, you treat everyone the same, or everyone. It's like, no, there's just a standard way of I treat people, but like I do have levels of friendships, priority of friendships,
Mhm.
but I do have. So it's really interesting how that also works.
Yeah, I agree, and I'll speak on this. Most of my friends that I talk to, and hang out, and do stuff with, I've known for, like I said, 28 years. Another one, 23 years. Salem, I've known for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have you guys. I have friends I met through other friends, became other. There's groups of friends I have. Most of my friends don't come together nicely. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah, that's the other thing is like your
right.
groups, like who fits with. Yeah, because I have friends from different groups as well.
Yeah. But I mean, with Salem, we start off as coworkers. Obviously we're in the same field. We do the same thing, so we're going to have some interest that overlap. And we found that, he comes over a lot. He plays games with the wife and I and her friends. We play some great horror games, and stuff like that. And us also transitioned then into playing online with him too. So we get
Mm-hmm.
something, whether it's Destiny, whether it's Gotham Knights, whether it's any 2-player game that we can play online, we do
Mm-hmm.
that as well. So it started off as a coworker. That's a different level than friends I've met since childhood. And then obviously you guys is different too. As Metza pointed out, I speak to you guys a hell of a lot more than people that live 5 miles from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just because the way we communicate is different. Because we're not meeting in person, it's easier to stay and talk to each other more often than you would if you physically hanging out.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of that's I think what's really different is, we have that friendship, but you talk to people every day, and you don't have the people that just go, "Hey, I haven't seen you since high school. What have you been up to? We should hang out." And I go, "I didn't hang out with you in high school. I'm not going to hang out with you now."
That's fair.
So and you have, like I said, you have those friends that might come back. Uh-oh.
Just twisted. Just sorry. You have to. He's killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, literally. I mean,
He's having a friend for dinner.
He's not everyone's cup of tea, but I find he's to my taste. All right, there. Are you sure you're not Hannibal?
He's twisted.
No, yeah, twisted.
So and so I wanted to. What Aubrey said, the circles are friends. Do you? You have different groups of friends. You have your D&D friends. You have your drinking friends. Whatever your groups may be. Right?
Yeah, my group's different. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I was talking about this with the wife before, about an hour before doing this. Does any one friend or one group know the entirety of you?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
More than one person or just one person?
I'd say more than one person.
More than one person?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, there's aspects of my life that some of my friends really don't give a crap about, so it's not involved with them. And so there's different groups. You know, if I want to make bad decisions, I'm going to hang out with this guy. You know, that's what we're going to do. We're going to drink until we can't see anything anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and that's cool, and that's what we do. So there used to be a bigger overlap, but there's not. You know, so I think I have different groups of friends for depending on what it is that I'm doing.
I mean, I do have different groups of friends depending. Like, I've got my acting friends, which don't really mix with a lot of my other friends, and then I've got my gaming friends, and they don't really completely mix. Like, even my best friends, they don't all know each other either, actually. So then I've got my music friends, and I've got, so I do have my different groups of friends, but there is some overlap in some of the friendships that I've got. But I would say that yes, absolutely. The ones that are really, really close to me, yes, they know quite a bit about me as a person. They know they know like my hobbies. They know what I'm doing. They know pretty much me. Like my friend Mel and Sam, like my other friend Sam, they know me pretty damn well, completely. So, it's a big thing. So.
What about you there, Mr. Fours? Different circles, different knowledge of your life.
I would never put every friend I have in the same room. I have learned. No, I'm not bullshitting when I say this. I have friends from all over the spectrum. And I can tell you right now, I have some Kyber Cave friends who would not agree with some of my Saber friends. I have some Saber friends who would not agree with like what my local friends have to say or do. And I will say this much: as an individual, as a person with freedom and with choice, I'm allowed to be friends with whoever the freak I want, and I'm going to. And I think it's okay that everybody has a different opinion and everybody has a different belief. Yeah. I don't have to follow them. I just have to respect them.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna get in anybody's way and tell them, no, you're wrong. Stop doing this. Unless they're like, killing themselves on some sort of poisonous drug or whatever. Then I'll tell them to stop. But like sugar and carbs. So
I just had like a whole sugar thing. So
I can't with you. Stop it. Get help.
I had an oat ice cream pop. I was falling asleep. I needed it. I was like crashing, so I needed something. I'm sorry.
But no, I'm serious when I say that. Like, I would not put every friend I have in the same room. And you know what's funny? I would actually do that out of respect.
Yeah.
I really would.
I really would. You don't have a friend that's like, oh, I would love for them to meet this other person and just sit back and eat popcorn.
I do it all the time.
Done that. Never again. That's how I lose friends.
It's kind of like Battle Royale.
Yeah, because eventually somebody is going to say, you're going to learn a really nasty truth about somebody. Eventually, somebody in your life is going to turn to you and say, all right, them or me.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I have invested 3+ years into being friends with you, and you're pulling this shit now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably cut them off. Honestly, if someone said, hey, it's them or me, I would probably cut that person out. Because the reason why is because friends shouldn't be making ultimatums of someone.
Thank you. Somebody who
And that's,
gets it.
well, I mean, no, I mean, there is something like, hey, I mean, it's different than if you say them or me. It's different if they're like, hey, I can't approve of this thing that's happening with this person or with you because of this person. Like, and the ultimatum is if you don't fix it, then I can't be your friend. That's very different than you saying, hey, it's either that person or me,
Right.
because it's a sense of control.
It's just
In
like
that point, and it's like, you're
contingency.
not my friend. You're not my friend if you're trying to isolate me from other people. Just because you have a problem with them doesn't make them a bad person. So if you dislike them for whatever reason, like that, I mean, has that gotten me hot water sometimes? Yes, but I don't give a shit.
Well,
That's the difference between you and me. I don't give a shit.
I feel bad. I'm sorry, Graveyard. What was your original question?
Sorry.
No,
I
seriously, it
derailed.
went like right over
The
my head. I
captain, the
apologize.
captain derailed. Sorry.
Oh,
No, you're
it's
fine,
it's
honey.
do you have a friend that knows the entirety of the Forge story, or do you have three
Yeah,
that know the entirety? Oh wow.
I've
I
got
just
a
that
lot.
I just that more closed off than I thought.
I have 3. And don't feel closed off. I mean, it's
No, you're just
don't.
more introverted and more like. In some ways, I feel that fours and I are actually more extroverted, so we're going to have more people that we rely on, just by that nature. But I think you're probably pickier of a
Yes.
person with your friends.
Yes.
But the friends that you do have are kept true and blue. That's like my friend Mel, who's like my ride and die. She's very picky about who she chooses into her life. But those friends that she does choose into her life, they're like her true blue. Like, I wish I had her picker, because, in a way, because her picker of friends is so like honest, and like, so like the friends that she does have close to her, they are truly like, those are the ones that truly have her back. In a way, it's like they're just really good, like really the ones I've seen that are kept with her. And we're pretty much in the same circle. She's got work friends, which are different for her, but the ones that are like she keeps around her, and I know them all. Those are the ones that she's like that has been like that has stuck with it, and generally like we've shared lives together in a way. So it's very interesting how that happens. So you're probably just one of those type of people, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's only one person that knows the entirety of me.
Is it your wife?
Yes, it is.
I knew it.
So I'm going to give you all the hard truth, and this is where fours is pretty much. See this. It's years and years of rejection and being kicked to the curb that is allowing me to have this. It's allowing me to have this fuck you moment. Here's how it goes.
Oh, there's that one F-bomb.
Yeah. You know, I personally can't stand investing my time into people only to be stabbed later. I really hate investing my time into people with contingencies. Especially when I go out of my way to help them. And I'm not talking about finances. I'm talking about like they trust me with this secret, and I keep this secret, and they keep coming back to me, and they're like, well, what do I do now? Well, I'm confused about this. Well, I don't know what I should do. And I keep giving them the best, most wholesome, good, pure advice that I can give. Right. And then later on, we get like 2-3 years down the road. I don't know if I've told this story. But we get 2-3 years down the road, and they expect me to do something that is just outside of my character. You know what I mean? Or I am unable to fulfill a request for them. And then they just kick me to the curb. Like nothing I've ever said or ever done for them ever mattered. And then I find my face being dragged through the mud in their circles. I find my face being dragged through the mud online. I'm being called a Judas. I'm being called a traitor. I'm a huge betrayer. Like, no, fuck you. That's not how this works. I don't invest my time into you and try to be that good person, and and take your side and try to show you how this works. And then just to turn around later and you'd be like, oh, well, you couldn't do me this one favor, so we've never been friends since go. Well, then why did you waste 3 years of my time if it was going to come down to this? Why couldn't you just say from go that this was what you wanted, So, and that's happened to me more times in life than I care to remember. And for some strange reason, I keep falling for it. But no, I'm just a little more outspoken about it. Like I can be on the internet right now, look straight into the camera and say, you know who you are. And seriously, no, go fuck yourself for what you've done to me. And if you were here, like if I see you again, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. How about that? So yeah. Like I'm not even joking. Like there was one person who pulled that shit, and I was at MegaCon last year, and it's the very first time I ever saw them in person. I didn't know it was them until it was too late. Had my son not been 20 feet in front of me, I'd have dropped my saber, turned around, and introduced his face to the floor before he did. And I'd have been like, yo, Chris, you're gonna need to bail me out of jail. Because that's how bad this dude drug me through the mud, like in circles. Like this is how bad this dude betrayed me, lied to me, lied about me, turned people on me. Like I was literally so far gone in anger and depression at that point. Like I couldn't believe that he was even in Florida. And I saw him at MegaCon. I'm like, it's literally taking the presence of my child to refrain from beating the shit out of this guy in public. Because I was going to do it. I was going to do it. And he's really damn lucky I didn't. Bitch. So...
Oh man, I love Spicy Force. Spicy Force is amazing.
I'm serious.
More of the spiciness.
Like I was gonna drop that bitch right there in the middle of that con and get thrown out and get arrested. That's how bad. That's how bad I've been treated.
I have corrupted you. I've corrupted thee. So, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of Mr. Force.
Love you too, sweetie. So I mean, extroverted. Like I don't know. I feel like I am this way right now because, I've come to like a breaking point in the last 7 months. And Swisted, you're right. I'm lucky that I didn't. And and you know what? Swisted's absolutely right. It's absolutely correct.
Yeah, you are lucky.
I am lucky that I didn't. And I was very lucky that I was a much better father than what I was fixing to be at that moment, because I was gone. I was done with everything.
You would have lowered yourself to that level.
Every facet of my life, literally work, home, friends, everything had gone completely to shit. And when I went to MegaCon, I straight didn't care anymore. I didn't care anymore. Like I needed a victory moment. Like Mrs. Forrest, you remember, because that was my Obi-Wan thing, and I was all proud because I lost enough weight to fit into that costume, and that was literally the one good thing that I had going at the time.
Yeah, I remember.
And I saw this dude, and I'm like, wow. Fate has delivered one of the sources of my misery right into my lap.
Well, here's the thing: is that because you didn't do that, you chose the better path, and now you're in a better. You're in a light. You're on the lighter side of the force, and so you're not gonna get that karma to go and bite you in the ass, son. And Swiss is right. I mean, this is. Swiss, I love your style. Oh, this is so great. Could we be friends?
So Swiss wants you to pay in crypto to go kick someone's ass.
Yeah.
Kick his ass. Kick his ass.
Kick his ass. No, but okay. So to make the point, I am very picky choosy with my friends. I am very picky choosy with who I trust. I think at this point in the game, with me, and take this for what it is, I'm going to use the word. There needs to be a level of love involved. Like it needs to be genuine. It needs to be. I need to believe that you're true. I need to believe that you're true. I need to believe that your intentions are good. I need to believe that you believe in something, including yourself and others. I just need you to be a good person, because if you're going to be shitty to someone else, then you're probably going to be shitty to me. And 42 years of people being shitty to me is enough. I've had therapists, I've had people tell me that, oh, I don't understand why you put up with so much. I'd have beat his ass, or, I would have dropped that friendship a long time ago. Or I never would have trusted him in the first place. That's about where I'm at. This is why I absolutely positively love my Kyber Cave family, because they, every last damn one of them, minus one who's not with us anymore, has proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are good, kind, wholesome, decent, loving people who.
And that also goes to our sister show, Distance Learning too. By the way, that is also extended out to you guys as well.
Phil and James, like
Phil and James are fantastic fucking people. They're part of our Kyber Cave family, always.
Yes, Metzo, you too.
Yes, Metzo, you too.
And don't worry, James. Phil did pay me the $100 to say that.
Hey, James, you know what? You are invited to join us here on the show.
You are. Always.
But no, seriously, like, I think in these past months, with everything that's been happening in my own life, everybody in Kyber Cave has been everything I've needed. Like, y'all have done for me. Y'all have kept me straight, like the only thing that y'all have not been able to break through to me yet is you don't give a shit what I look like.
I don't give a shit what you look like.
So, but that's.
I think Metzo is, and just like to that point, I think Metzo's like one of the most beautiful people ever. So there.
She's so freaking wonderful.
She is. Like, I love spending time with her. She's amazing. Like, we had a great time today, huh? Huh, Mets? We had a great time. We sang together in the car. It was great.
Oh, no fair.
You also discussed the game that's continuing next week.
Oh, yes. Yes, is the magical adventure continuing now? Are we actually going to go and experience Bray?
I need a wizard to, cast their spell for me.
I will cast that spell for you.
Did we ever answer the original question? What makes a friend? Did any of us ever answer it?
I believe so.
We have. So, I mean, we've discussed
roundabout,
how we get them, who we trust with information. But let's answer the question though. What makes a friend? When do you consider someone to be a friend? What point do you think that is for you? 8 dates,
And I can trust them.
Be real, be true, and don't fuck with me. That's it.
Oh, you mean like Sewong does whenever he mentions a Mario RPG?
No, not that type. I'm saying, like, don't take too large of a chunk out of the trust bank. I love that from Boy Meets World. Like, you know what? For 18 years with mom and dad, I've put so much into the trust bank, and now I have that level of trust that I can do things. Yeah, don't overdraw out of my trust bank. Seriously, like, don't do it. It's not gonna lead great places.
I mean, once you run out, once you run out of something, you then have zero fucks to give.
Oh, the tank's been on E for a while.
Oh, look, there was my last fuck. It just flew away.
Bye-bye.
That's the most F-bombs I've dropped in probably 5 weeks now.
I know. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, God. What about you, Mrs. Fours?
Yes.
What makes a friend? Oh, sorry. I love you. Nuts, I love you. What makes a friend? So, to me, a friend is someone that is there for you emotionally, mentally, or and if physically is fine, but mostly it's emotionally and mentally. When they're there for you in that space and they're able to meet you on that equal level, and they can appreciate the things they can get for you, because not everyone's going to understand you. Like, this is the thing about it. It's like, for me, the way that I have friends that are like, I don't understand you at all, but I still love you. And that's kind of how it is. Or there's people that are like, hey, you're as mysterious as a lamppost. And like, I'm like, great, what does that mean? I feel a little salty about this now. I'm mysterious. And it's just someone that you feel like you can trust, and that can trust you, and that you love. I love you. You love me. Exactly. I love that you brought that up. That's a great point, Swisted. So yeah, for me, it's about, who do I know that I can reveal something to myself, to,
Mm-hmm.
in a way, and that I know that they have my back.
Mm-hmm. So you would bury a dead body for them, they bury a dead body for you.
Yeah.
To the body.
Or they don't judge me for wanting to punch the fuck out of somebody. Anyway, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or take a saber to them, or a sword. Kind of a very, very big hugging kiss from me to you. I love it.
All right, so I guess I'll go
Anyway,
then.
yep, go, Dampy.
So
Hard.
yeah, it's
Also, it's the nicknames. Nicknames are everything. If you're not my friend, you don't have a nickname. I'm sorry.
I'm a friend to a fault, to where people have actively screwed me over, and I'll still be friends with them.
Well, you have to
So,
understand the motivation for why. I think that's what it is. And you have to, if they're willing to come back and be like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. Like, that's happened. I have done that. I've fucked up friendships, and I have like gone back and done that. So I agree with you
yeah,
completely.
I mean, I think a true friend, literally what makes a friend, is someone who, as you guys were saying, is likes you for who you are. You don't have to be something else to be their friend, right?
Yes.
That you can trust them, that you can tell them your secrets, and hopefully they don't screw you over with that. I said,
Yeah.
I'm joking with the body bearing thing, but you know what I mean. Like, you always see those commercials or TikToks that were like, call girls calling all her boyfriend's friends, and where was he with? Was he with you last night? All of them say yes. Yeah, he's with me. Yeah. But it's someone who likes you for who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and can accept any change that comes through it, whether it be, like I said, getting married, having kids. When you have friends that aren't there necessarily with you at the same step, they don't always fully understand that the friendship has changed, that the bubble of friendship has grown to include more into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's, we're friends, but now, the wife comes as part of the package too. You hang out at our house, my wife's going to be there. I'm not telling them to leave my house so we can hang out and
Right.
just do shit. That's not what we do. But no, it's definitely someone that you can rely on, that you can make that phone call, say, I know exactly where I'm going to go if the wife kicks me out of the house, which friend's house I'm going to, that
Mm-hmm.
will take me in and all that stuff. So yeah, I just look for, I just said, I've been thrown under the gutter a lot, not reputation wise, but just kind of thrown aside by a lot of people growing up in my life. So I am very jaded, and not jaded, but I'm very blockaded from what I tell people and introduce and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's part of that. I've been very guarded just because of all the stuff that's happened. So, yeah. So, like I said, though, I still have the people I know I'll call. When my friend, a couple weeks ago, my friend from college, mom died, and just happens the funeral's in the town that I live in. So you know what? Called my other buddy from college. Like, you know what? We're going here. He got married and moved. This is not far, 40 miles away, and stopped being friends with us. Stopped returning calls. Stopped answering.
Wow.
So, so to me, that was kind of the cutting of the friendship, because he didn't want to extend the friendship trust in, hey, I'm married, come, hang out with us. We can keep this friendship going. Now it's, essentially then becomes double dates to have our wives become friends. Didn't try to do any of that. So he just cut ties and left. But his mom died, I said, a couple weeks ago. I still went to the funeral just because that's what I would do for anyone that was my friend. I see anyone I know well enough that, I will go and do stuff like that. We don't have to get the whole funeral belief system and the rites and all this stuff that goes with it. But it doesn't matter. Even if it's going into a church or something that I don't want to be a part of, I will still go. And for them to see, especially when they go into a church, for them to see me in a church for them, I think that means something to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not in, like I said, that's not my belief system or anything like that. So, but it doesn't matter. It was very hard with, like I said, 2016 through 2020, and then COVID happening, of the splitting of I saw the split of my Republican friends and my liberal friends, and it has yet to come back together. Quite honestly, there used to be a big group of us, and now there's people like, we don't want to talk to them because of how they reacted during this and this and this. So it's hard, and they still want to, so now I have to, my biggest group of friends got split up, and right now it's they're busy and they want to hang out, but honestly, I'm doing a lot of time here for Kyber Cave and Distance Learning that I really love doing, and I don't need to go and drink beer and that be the only friendships that we have left. So.
I want to add something. I think if you are a friend with someone, it's about putting their needs in a way over just yours. You're not using them to validate yourself. In a way, you are extending that love to validate them, and they do it for you. And that's what's really important. Just like Swiss said, I think what you're saying, what really makes a friend is caring for them, for and about someone. I mean, that is the real answer. It's about, like, if they need help, are you going to be there for them? Yes, because that's what a friend is. That's what a friend does. Will they be there for you? Yes. I mean, they may not always be able to be there for you. They may not always be capable of being there for you. I mean, that's love. That's what love is. Love is action. Love is not looking at that person to validate you. It's you're doing it for them because you want to.
Right.
And that is, to me, the essence of what friendship is. So that's my answer. That's what makes a friend.
Okay. Do you have anything more to say on that before I ask the next question there for us? Here we go. It's gonna be a tricky one.
I don't know. Damn. I'm sorry, honey. I have to ask the question because I feel I feel really bad. Do any of y'all, like, and Mezzo, this goes to you too, do any of y'all feel like I'm trying to lose the weight to validate myself through y'all? Like, do y'all think I'm trying to do this and get y'all's opinion so that I would feel better about me? Or I don't know. I just that
That's like a personal attack.
That it didn't feel like a personal. I mean, I'm not gonna say it felt like a personal attack. I just want to make sure that, like, y'all have the right idea as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I'm certainly. I mean, I don't. Hell. See,
I think you have a very deep. Here's what I think. I think you have a very deep wound of people judging you for how you look.
Truth.
And I think you are like, I don't want you to see me as what I see myself as. Like, here's some truth bombs. In a way, you are asking us to validate you, but you're not doing it from a place of it is insecurity, but it's not from a place of, like, please validate me or else. And my mom's calling me.
We hear the epic Zelda music playing.
I know. Yeah. I'm like,
that's my mom's ringtone. I'll be right back. Oh wait,
best way to do it.
I was gonna hold of her afterwards. But yeah, that's Yeah, that my mom is a Song of Time. That's her ringtone. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, that's like, I'm not saying it's in a narcissistic way. You're saying, please give a shit about me more than just what I look like. Like, but also please see me for the value of my work. That's what you're asking us to
Oh,
do.
so please see that I actually tried.
Yes.
My God, have I tried?
I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It just comes down to
And you know what? And like,
it.
and I've had, and you know what? And I'm not going to take anything away from that because I've had two scenarios where I feel like I'm not gonna use words as harsh as lied to and betrayed because everybody's physicality is different. But when I have a medical professional explain to me that when you take actions A, B, and C, you're going to not have X problem anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
then when you follow those instructions to the T and you give it all your extra effort and you really like literally change your life, and then
Yeah.
X problem happens anyway, you feel betrayed. You feel lied to. Like,
Yeah.
and it's happened to me twice. You know, the first time was a few months ago when I kind of had a breakdown in the group chat about my A1C. I'm like, I tried so damn hard. Why do I still have pre-diabetic numbers? Like, I've beat this
Mm-hmm.
thing twice, and I had a complete moment of defeat. Second time has happened over the past few days when I found myself in the ER because of this stupid piriformis. I'm like, wait a second now. I've lost enough weight so that this shouldn't have happened. Why the hell did this happen? You know, I've been
Mm-hmm.
hit so many times with, well, you wouldn't have back problems if you weren't so big, or oh, you wouldn't have this problem if you weren't so sedentary, or you know, why can't you be thin like the rest of us? So
I mean, that's society shaming you or something.
when I actually get my shit in order and this still happens, yeah, yeah, it freaking blows, and I do feel like a complete and total failure.
You're
So
not.
when so it and I'm not going to use the word validation, but I do. It brings a level of comfort to be reminded by the people I care about. You're not a failure.
Thank
You're
you, sweet.
having a hard time, and we're here for you. Just keep going. So so yeah, I do understand that when y'all say it, but just I want y'all to understand that there are going to be times where there are expectations, self expectations that you know I give a level of effort which is above and beyond, and when bad shit goes down, there's going to be that moment of damn, then why did I even bother?
Yeah,
And that's
I do
just
have something to
normal.
say, like to what how Swiss said. Your weight hasn't got a damn thing to do with your insulin production. That's an interesting statement. I kind of agree,
It's
but
type 2
I
Swisted,
don't.
not type 1.
Yeah, type one, absolutely true. It does not have anything to do with your diet, with your body size, your weight. But more importantly, has to do with your diet.
Mm-hmm.
Insulin production has to do with the diet, and that is something that's not stressed enough. So,
Oh, not
but
nearly.
to go into that,
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
not going into there. This is a different thing. But what I'm trying to say is for you, Mr. Forrest, is we don't give a damn what you look like because we know who you are here, and what is here matters way more than this. To at least to me, to Mets, to Dampy,
To
like
Van.
that's why you're our friend.
Yeah.
Like because you have heart.
See, and for us then, when we actually get to meet at KyberCon 2024, we'll both be jacked, rip our shirts off in a lightsaber battle.
And then I'll come in and kick both of your asses.
You know,
And it'll be
we
perfect.
might be tough enough to bring down Dave. You never know.
And then you'll fight me.
No, I mean, like I said,
I'm just
obviously,
kidding.
you know, I won't be there for your trip, your endeavor. You know, just because I'm
Yeah.
not there.
Already am Swisted. Already am.
But no, I mean, yes. You know, are you?
No, he's been working his ass off.
Yes.
Twisted, to be fair. I don't want to underscore this statement here.
Yeah.
Forrest has been working his fucking ass off.
Go back to the
He's
middle of
been
last
getting on
year.
with it.
Go back to the middle of last year and find a Kyber cave with me on it, and then come back to this. You'll
Like
see
the difference has been so he's been working out almost every freaking day. I know this because he talks to me about this, so I know
She knows.
he has been working his fucking ass off. So is the work there? Yes. Does he look fantabulous? Absolutely yes. He looks great.
Yay.
But we still don't give a damn.
I just have to reach that graveyard level of beard greatness. But that's going to take it like another 2 years.
I don't know if you can touch the beard greatness. I'm not really sure.
I don't think anybody can.
So I can't grow on top. I gotta grow.
There was a
somewhere.
distance nerding guest a couple weeks ago who came close but didn't meet it. Sorry.
I
We almost had a beard bracket. Yes.
Beard,
Yeah, I know.
Beard god. I mean, I don't know. We have the beard god over there. I'll never. Hey, to be fair, I will never reach both of your beard statuses. So.
Well, you've got the great hair status. So I think we've beaten friendship into the ground, but we still got 20 more minutes. Do we want to nerd out on anything?
Star Trek? No.
Because there is a shit ton to nerd out on.
There is.
There absolutely is.
So I haven't watched the last episode of Picard yet, but oh my god.
So let me just take like a minute and a half and express how unfreaking believable the Mario movie is.
Really?
It's so good.
Is it really good?
It's so good.
Okay, well, don't make it spoiler free. I will, and then I will have to watch it.
No spoilers, but I will say, number one, it is fan service done right.
I love fan service done right.
Completely done right. Everything that you're going to see in there, if you know your Mario history, you'll see it, you'll hear it, you'll love it.
I heard that there are references that people don't understand the origins of Mario that they won't get.
Yes, there are. You really got to know your stuff. Like you got to know your pre-90s Mario stuff. That's
Is it spoiler if we say what it is?
Hey, it's Mario. What's your name? Mario.
I'm saying the game that people would need to go understand the
what's your name? Mario. What's your last name? Mario. What's your name? Luigi. What's your last name? Mario. Mario and Luigi. Mario. What?
Yes.
Yeah, you can mention the game. Go ahead.
Wrecking Crew.
Okay. Yeah. There's actually if you've seen every single trailer, then you already know.
Right. Yes.
You already know.
For which one? Wait, what? I'm confused. Wait.
Wrecking
Say
Crew.
it again. Oh yes, the Wrecking Crew. Then yes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm sorry. My brain is on. Monkey.
But yeah, it's completely worth it. I saw it in 3D today, which was even better. Like,
I want to ask your spoiler-free opinion of it being Chris Pratt versus Charles.
Versus what?
Charles.
I had no problem with it because I came from the world of Lou Albano.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
So
not. Neither is Bob Hoskins. May they both rest in peace.
I know.
John Leguizamo does not look any different though. He's not changed since the 90s. Just saying.
All the characters, everybody who played their respective characters did a phenomenal job.
I heard Jack Black was Bowser, and and from what I've heard, he freaking kills it.
Not only does he kill it,
he's the perfect Bowser. He's the Bowser I am probably going to hear. Well, with the exception of our lovely Dampy. But he's gonna kill. But I'm sure he is going to be the voice of Bowser forever.
Let me just say that when you see the movie and you walk out, you are going to be singing a song, and it's not going to get out of your head.
Is it going to be like Everything is Awesome?
Good long time. Yes, it's that good. It's that good, and it's so funny. So
or Darkness.
So I think Well, I mean, it's going to be.
Sorry, I punched you guys. I slept 2 hours last night. I'm
It'll
sorry.
It'll still be in theaters when I get there, so I think we should just go watch it.
Oh.
Oh, she knows. Apparently, this is.
So yeah,
Apparently.
that's my nerd out on the Mario movie. It was just that
Aw.
freaking good. I also want to say quickly that Resident
No.
Evil 4 remake is definitely worth your play.
Oh.
If you're into Resident Evil.
Hmm.
I'm if you're an RPG fan, Octopath Traveler 2 is probably the best turn-based thing I've played in a very, very long time, and I'm so in love with it. And the PlayStation, the PSVR 2
King
is worth
Koopa
your
for all
investment.
of you. Anyway.
So,
King Koopa.
Mrs. Fours, what do you got to nerd out on besides Picard?
Picard? No. SVU? No. Let me think. What do I got to nerd out on?
Well, should we nerd out on what we should nerd out on?
Which is what?
The 3 air announcements and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the announcements, nor have I seen any trailers yet.
I've not seen any of it. Yeah.
Pull it up.
Oh, is RE4 Wesker really great? I mean, Wesker is always great.
That's a spoiler, Say Wong.
Is Wesker in 4?
So I won't put it up.
Okay, one thing I will kind of nerd out in the movies, the guy they casted to play Wesker is fucking brilliant. I don't care what anyone says. I'm like, oh, that casting, just fucking like, oh, it's so good.
I don't know.
So good. I love him.
I feel like after the original Resident Evil 1, they turned Wesker into this evil Neo from the Matrix.
I mean,
No, he's Agent Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's Agent Smith.
I love him. I mean, I love the actor. I like what he does with it. Personally, I mean, that's a personal thing. That whether it's good or not, I don't know. It's my jam. I love it. For some reason, I'm kind of reminded of Johnny Cage from the original Mortal Kombat movie. Don't know why, but I'm like, yes.
Those are $500 sunglasses, asshole.
Yes.
That's my favorite line, by the way. Johnny Cage is my favorite character. If anyone doesn't know, those are $500 sunglasses, asshole.
Well, Forrest, do we want to pull up? Do we want to pull up the trailer? We can. I want to see you guys react to it.
Go for it. Pull it on up. Just let's not be victim of the getting shut down for 30 seconds here.
Yeah, let's not do that.
All right. So.
Oh, and bad news: X-Men '97 got pushed back to 2024.
Wow.
What?
I know.
I mean, I've heard things going forward. Like, I heard there's going to be a remake of Neverending Story coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about that, by the way.
All right. Are you guys able to hear
it? Turn yours up.
I'm watching the timer, so I'll pause it.
Oh, shoot.
That's it.
You get it, Rosario Dawson.
Okay, so we're gonna pause it so we don't get the whole thing.
Yeah.
Open scene.
Already crazy.
I'm already intrigued.
All right.
This is a new beginning.
Hey.
For some, war.
Oh, we're already off to a good start.
For others, power.
Interesting.
Okay. So
is this supposed to be taking place during the Mandalorian, or is this taking place during?
Oh, we'll get into that. Don't you worry.
Okay, during the in between the 20 years.
Yes. So
okay.
I just want to get your first. Now we've seen this stuff, and Forrest, you mentioned that I believe time to get away from the Jedi in Star Wars. What do you think of this now?
I mean, technically, we're still not playing with Jedi because she's not a Jedi.
Oh.
Ahsoka is not a Jedi?
No.
Well,
she walked away from it.
Well,
she's a Force user who's just really damn good with sabers.
Yes.
Okay.
She
Did
has
you
no
hear that?
title.
It's been a while.
Did you hear that?
Oh,
Hmm.
Sabine, hey girl.
Did you hear what was in the background?
No, go ahead. Play it back.
Listen.
It's been a while.
Did you hear it?
Wait, ready? I heard something.
It's the pan flute for Mandalorian.
Oh,
Yes.
that's what that was. Okay.
Yes, just the.
Oh, now James is here.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
okay, now.
I mean, there were pictures of rocks. Does that count?
Right.
Sand is everywhere.
All right. So
Things have changed. I started hearing whispers.
Yes.
Thrawn's return
You're not supposed to be alive, sir.
as heir to the Empire.
Luke's clone? Luke has a clone?
in an extended universe, he does.
Right.
That's who Mara Jade is supposed to kill.
Oh, wait, is Mara Jade supposed to be here in here? Wait, we
He
haven't.
thinks the
wait,
beard is Luke's clone.
wait,
But
does
maybe
that mean
gone
we're gonna?
bad.
Are we actually gonna get some Mara Jade?
So
Oh, I did hear something, by the way. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut in, but apparently, Daisy Ridley is going to be doing a new
Yes.
Star Wars film.
Takes place 15 years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
Now,
hasn't even been. How is that? Okay.
I was gonna say, had you been 3?
I like to forget it was. I think it was 15 years ago. Yeah, maybe Ahsoka's based on the Thrawn trilogy, but the real question is which Thrawn trilogy? The new Thrawn trilogy or the original Thrawn trilogy, written by the same guy.
Interesting.
But as heir to the Empire, which was the book that Thrawn was introduced in.
I had to go look at my books to see which ones I've got.
Yeah, I mean, heir to the Empire, and that deals a lot with Luke and Mara and Thrawn and all that stuff. So
This is interesting, though.
But
I
now-
find this
yeah,
fascinating.
and we have Mon Mothma returning. So the Republic, the Republic's already been built out. So the inkling she's hearing is going to be the rise of the First Order.
Ah, gotcha. Interesting.
You know, after watching Mando this particular season, I hate the New Republic.
Uh-huh.
I hate the New Republic. They're pansies. I can't stand them.
Yes.
We have to prepare for the
Uh-oh.
The Jedi fell a long time ago. There aren't many left.
Nice.
So, next thoughts?
I'm not making any new fonts from it, so that's a good thing. Not getting
Yes.
caught in that rat race again.
Yes.
I am
all-
certainly intrigued.
Yes. Yeah, so Rey's going to have her own trilogy, maybe. Let's talk about the original Timothy Zahn.
Mhm.
No, don't get me salty there, James.
It's okay,
We
left.
discussed the Lindelof. Yeah, screw him. So with new Star Wars, with
Sequel trilogy.
okay, yay. We'll see.
I was just kind of bringing out my role playing character,
Mhm.
kind of. So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
In the Star Wars game that I was playing, we actually ran into Ahsoka,
Oh.
and we also ran into Qui-Gon Jinn was a person. But anyways, yeah. So I'm like, oh, of course I'm here. Great.
I like Sailong's theory. I want to see if
I think it's Luke's clone. Yeah, I actually like that
Sailong,
theory
if
as well.
right,
Yeah.
I will give you your $8.35.
Hey, who's the Sith there? Because that looks a lot like Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs.
That is not Clancy Brown.
Yeah, I thought I was like right out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, is that him? Nah, it can't be
Yeah.
him.
All right.
Okay.
It'd be funny if it
Keep
was.
going.
Yeah.
Perhaps it is time to begin again.
Okay.
Oh, it's a series. It's not
Uh-huh.
a movie.
Yeah, it's a series.
Uh-huh.
It'd be neat if it were a movie. Okay. All right.
Well, they have
maybe.
3 movies announced apparently.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
I think
There's.
that'll be a fun watch.
Do you think it looks more Star Warsy than any show we've gotten so far?
No.
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 Right now, this is just one man's opinion, but the current season of Mandalorian is the greatest Star Wars we've had since Revenge of the Sith. Hands down, bar none. It puts to shame everything that we've had since Revenge of the Sith. Season 1 and season 2 of Mando were gold. Season 3 is platinum.
This is how I feel about season 3 of Picard. I'm like, dude, season 1 and 2 are they're all right. Like season 2 is kind of pretty okay. Season Picard, I am like living for it. I'm in it. I am like jonesing for the next episode. I am crying ugly tears here. Like seriously, like no.
Who crying?
No, seriously, like not this last episode, but this episode before, but the 2 episodes before that, I was literally crying ugly tears. Like I was so, and was so invested in that. The last episode just made me mad. I just got angry. I was so pissed off, but in a good way. But I mean, that's because I'm invested. I'm invested in the story. I'm invested in the characters, and it feels like Star Trek. It feels like Next Generation. It's so fucking good. It's so good.
Go ahead, Greg. What were you saying?
I was saying the last episode of Mandalorian though was
I need to watch the last episode. I need to watch the next. I need to watch rest. I need to watch season 3. I haven't watched it yet.
Did you like my cheeky monkey reference to the spoiler, not a spoiler? If I almost said this is not the greatest show, it's just a tribute.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Not best in the world.
So, I mean, overall thoughts, let's do it since we don't have Saturday Morning Nerd Out tomorrow. Are you giving it a thumbs up for excitement? All right. Yeah, I'm
then again, I love Rosario Dawson. She's amazing. I love her and everything she's been in.
Yeah.
When she's in it, things are good.
As far as
except for
Clone
Run,
Wars
that was not a great movie. But everything else, but she was not bad.
We're not really carrying on Clone Wars. We're carrying on Rebels.
Okay. But still.
And
it gives me Knights of the Old Republic feels actually.
Mm-hmm.
It actually feels very BioWare.
Especially the dark side characters. They feel very Old Republic, which is cool.
Yes, they feel Kotar.
No, I'm interested to see where this is gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not like chomping at the bit, gonna drop everything I'm doing to watch it. I mean, I'll casually watch it and have fun. I'm not gonna treat it like it's God's gift to Star Wars because that's what.
Oh, speaking of which, guys, I'm sorry, I have to go and watch the new Picard episode right now.
Go watch it.
I'm kidding. Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
But no, I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking very forward to it. And yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have Star Wars that doesn't suck.
It's so nice to have Star Wars that doesn't suck. And what are you talking about? What's Acolyte? What's Acolyte?
The other show.
James? Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer for it, James.
If only there's some download we can watch on Tuesdays to get all this information.
Oh, are we talking about the download by our sister show? Distant Nerdy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Graveyard? Then we can do pluggables.
Yeah, I'm excited. There's one series I have not watched of Star Wars. That's the same one you haven't watched, Forrest. And it's not for the same reasons.
Which one?
Andor.
Yeah, I don't care.
I have not watched Andor yet.
I haven't seen Andor. I have heard it is the Star Wars series, like the old people of the old fans, like the older generation, like the people that are like diehards for the original trilogy will freaking love that show. They say it's like the best. It's like the sequel we should have gotten. It's really interesting. It's interesting that is like, or the prequel we should have gotten. Mm-hmm. They say it's interesting. It's really it's kind of like that really good slow burn. That's what I've heard from Andor. And anyone I say who watched it, they're like, after the first episode, you can't stop watching.
And here's where I may lose my Star Wars geek card is when the prequel trilogy came out and they started writing those books. I gave up on that part of that timeline.
I was in line for those.
So was I. So was
What were
I.
you in line for?
The prequel trilogy.
Oh, the prequels?
Actually, no,
Yeah.
just the last two. I was okay. Wow, I actually waited in line for episode 2.
Mhm.
I was in line for episode 1 and episode 3.
2 days.
But episode 3 was
I'm
like
telling me again.
Yeah.
like the best theater experience.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah,
guys.
James, I will eventually watch it. It's just I'm too busy watching so many horror movies.
I won't, but that's okay.
So,
That's how much I hated Rogue One.
Mhm.
So
I said prequels aren't the prequel trilogy and timeline that we've gotten for the Anakin saga.
yeah,
I don't really care about. If you make me a Darth Bane movie, I will watch the crap out of it.
ooh.
At the Gremlin Theater.
Should
I was
we,
at the Concord Theater, to be fair.
Should we do pluggables?
Let's do pluggables. Yes.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay!
Agreed. Say Wong.
Agreed.
Who's going first?
Have Captain.
Vampy.
You want me to go
Oh,
first?
no,
I'll go first.
Captain. I mean,
All right. I am Graveyard, co-host of the Mostly Pod at Night Mostly podcast. You can find new episodes anywhere you get your podcasts on Wednesday mornings. You can follow us on social media at Pod Out at Night. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Our website's not that, but it's the Mostly Pod at Night Mostly.com. It's short, I know. On top of that, you can find me 4 days a week here over at Kyber Cave. Make sure to check out all our great shows. On top of that, you can find me running the bracket and helping host at Distance Nerding on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Pacific. So, yeah, check out all our great content. And if you want to talk nerdy to us, join our Discord. We want to talk nerdy to us. We want to talk nerdy to you. Give us your theories. I want to start a theory channel on our Discord to get more people in there. So please come talk nerdy to us. On top of that, join our Patreon just for a little $1 a month. You can earn to, help us contribute more shows, get more content out to you, and you also get free swag as well for different tiers. So make sure to go check that out as well. Thank you.
hi, I'm the captain. Oh, my captain. So I am, I do all the things here, I guess. I'm a musician. I am an actress. I write. I do things. I know things. I yell at Say Wong a lot. This is what happens. And, and I check on my friends at Distant Nerding. Hey. So that's kind of, I'm a little punchy today but anyways, you can see in here, there's this stuff here. There's a band I was a part of that has stuff that came out. And I have an album on Spotify you can take a look at. It's called The Unexpected Journey. So you can do that. Look at it here, or you can just watch all of our playthroughs, the lives that I have with these two lovely people. These lovely men right here. I play on Wednesdays with Mets, my Agent M, on Wednesday morning. I've been stopping and helping out at Hearts of Kyber. And soon here we will have a new show called The New Order that I am leading, that we will be having here. It's a role-playing game show. It's going to be awesome. So you should totally check that out when you get a chance, when it comes out. I'm good. Get me off the stage. Dude, it would have been your turn, James, if you had just gotten on.
Would like to invite everybody to go to kybercave.com. Get yourself a very affordable and very magnificent saber from their stock. And when you do, go over to saberfont.com and try to find Force FX saber sounds. Get yourself a sound font, throw it on that saber, and just enjoy the freak out of it, because sabers and things that glow and awesome sounds are what it's all about. making people smile ear to ear. You can also find me over at Distance Nerding on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. Here at Kyber K Productions, you can find me on some Mondays, Thursday night live for gaming, Friday nights here, Saturday mornings for Nerd Out, and Thursday of next week, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally upon us. Thursday of next week, Fours invades California. It's going to be freaking incredible. And hopefully, all of us, one of the Fridays that I'm there, we will all be together in the same room to do Kyber Cave After Dark. So,
all of us.
most of us.
Well, some of us will be there on video.
A quick reminder to everybody, Saber Rattle will not be on this Sunday.
Yes.
However, because Saber Rattle will not be on, there is a 90% possibility that I will be doing just a hangout session game stream like I do when Saber Rattle can't be on. So you are invited to join us if your family endeavors are complete that day. Come and hang out with those of us who want to be on screen. And aside from that, may the fours be with you all. Had a really great time tonight. I want to thank you all for joining and just kind of pitching in on some great discussion. Had a really good one tonight, and it's kind of sad that Van missed out on it. But
yeah, thank you, Rick, for coming on and just
Rick,
hanging out with us.
Say Wong,
Say Wong, James, Metz. Like your comment and Thomas, even though you weren't able to really talk. Like Thomas, and all those who are silent but watching.
Thomas, it's always good to see you. So if we don't see you on Sunday night, then we'll see y'all next week. And from Graveyard, from Captain and myself, good night.